Welcome again to the Franciscan Hermitage on this very important feast of the Trinity. I think it's very important that you look at the reality from which we come. We all come from an infinite sea of potential. And so, before we're born, we're connected to universal intelligence. Then when we're born, we get into the limits of the physical world. But it is really important for you to understand that all of us are still connected with divine, cosmic, unconditional love energy. That's who we are. So in order to try to explain how the spirit world works through us, we use that image of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And the work of the Father is creation, and the work of the Son is redemption, and the work of the Spirit is sanctification. So all of those powers are within us because the divine presence is there. And you know that you are creating constantly. So where does all of that creative energy come from? It comes from the divine creator within you. You're a co-creator. And you are also in the field of redemption. You know, if you go to the Latin, it says redimere, which means to buy back. So before we come into this world, we're already connected with universal intelligence. So we move into a more spiritual dimension where we start paying attention to the Spirit. And what we do is we buy back or we redeem ourselves by understanding this spirit world to which we were totally connected before we were born. And we do that and understand that when we become like the person of Jesus, exuding that divine, cosmic, unconditional love energy, we become a sanctifier not only for ourselves, but for the whole world. And then when we move into the Holy Spirit, we're talking about sanctification. So redemption is buying back the power. Sanctification is giving it away. And so if you look at the potential that you have, it can be explained by the power that you have within you for the Creator, the Redeemer, and the Sanctifier. And you know, my dear friends, just yesterday I got an email with a link to a 2 or 3 year old child who was sitting on the floor, just sitting quietly. And the mother asked, well, what are you doing? And the child said, well, I'm meditating. And the mother said, well, what is that? And she said, well, sometimes it's talking to God, but sometimes it's looking for the master plan. And the mother said, well, what were you doing? She said, I was looking for the master plan. This is a 2 or 3 year old child. You know, when those children come into this world, they're closer to the total spiritual reality than we are as we grow up. And then as we mature and we get older, we come to understand that the spirit world is all there is, and that all this material reality is just a limit. So that we get to the point where we are ready to go back to be connected again with universal, cosmic, unconditional love energy. And that kind of understanding comes through the images of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So it's not just a feast about theory. It's a feast helping us to understand that we are connected to this divine energy and we are co-creators, and that we are redeemers, and that we are sanctifiers. My dear friends, perhaps during this week, you can simply pay attention to the times when you are working out of these functions, because you're doing it all the time. When you start reflecting on how you are functioning, you're going to be coming closer and closer to understand the power of the spirit world. See what you can do about getting further insight this week about you. And then you will be able to understand more clearly that you are a powerful spiritual being. And your love makes a difference. God bless you all.